At iFiber One News Radio, the Daybreak show here. Jeff Slakey, Spencer Hughes. Good morning, Spencer.
Good morning.
With two great guests on Wednesdays at this time, we get a little more information about things happening on the Port of Shelton and their pair of properties.
Our pair of properties, yeah.
Saying that.
We still have the third.
I know you
still got
It's
it.
not official.
Not gone yet.
I gotta start working on that. How you guys doing?
Good.
Big meeting yesterday. What'd you discuss?
Well, we had the EDC come in,
Oh, good.
and Jennifer gave us a presentation on, excuse me.
Opportunity
Oh,
zones.
there you go. Thank you. Got me all
Fill in
choked
for
up.
you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
such an exciting.
Yeah, got me all choked up, yeah.
So this came by from the federal tax law last year or 2 years ago, whatever.
Couple of years ago, yeah.
The feds come up with these areas that may or may not be able to get some boost in the economy. We got a couple here in Mason County. There's some up in Kitsap and around the state. The governor directed where those zones were, and the port's in one of them.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah, I think the county got to designate areas within, so the governor directed it. But I think how it worked, and I could get this totally wrong, but they got to decide. The county got to decide where those zones lie, and so yeah, Sanderson Field is smack dab in the middle of Zone
Okay.
1. So,
But if I'm looking at the port and our conversations over the years, you guys seem to be doing pretty well for yourselves. So how does that? Is this going to impact you at all? Do you get a sense that you're going to be seeing a private capital infusion to kind of do something on Sanderson Field?
Not on Sanderson Field, no.
well,
I don't see that.
yeah, that's where the zone is.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
we're in the zone.
yeah.
But around it, we might see more. But the problem is that the way I see it is that the investors that want to come in, they want to own some land and start businesses and that sort of thing. And you can't do that on Sanderson Field. You can start incubator businesses there, but you can't own the land.
Right.
And so I think that's a handicap for that specific portion of the economic development zone. But that's only a small portion of it. So I think there's other areas that could expand out.
Well, it's going to be a big year as everybody kind of better understands what this economic opportunity zones these really mean and how they'll help. But you guys have been, as mentioned, trucking right along. Last week, Dick, without you here, we were talking about some of the goals for 2019. You guys are knocking on the door for your 1,000th employee.
Yeah, there we
on the
go.
port.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. What else are you looking at here from a commissioner perspective?
Well, I'm looking at full rented to capacity so that we don't have any spares. And I'm looking for expansion. We've got businesses that need to expand. A couple of them are in dire straits for further, or they need more space to do their business in. And we need to step forward and help them out on that. And they're multi-million-dollar businesses. These aren't little mom and pops.
Right.
It's a big business we're looking at.
Good
So.
returns on dividends,
Right.
perhaps. So when you look at an overview of Sanderson Fields, to stick with there for a little bit, there are some roadways that have some open areas. Are you guys able to make a decision like this right away? In front of the commissioners, of course, approval to start building, or are there zoning issues that you have to deal with, or because it's your land, you can do what you wish?
Well, we have to abide by the county zone. We're zoned by the county. So
Okay.
yeah, as long as as the project fits the zoning that's already there, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but we're set up for
Yeah.
building and really up in our Business Park North, where we built the 8 buildings several years back. That was really our last big building projects. The infrastructure was laid up there, so there's already, the water lines, there's already the power. So up there, it would be really a no-brainer.
Yeah, we still have to go through the
It's
permitting
expensive.
process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Building
yeah,
permit
yeah, you have to
process.
do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we're
And
not.
in some cases, environmental impacts and all that sort of thing, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, we can turn it around.
Yeah.
Get it
The
going.
biggest issue, and this is what we'll talk more about at our retreat that's coming up, is just to figure out what we want to do first, because it impacts, we only have so much debt that we can, we have money in the bank, we have debt capacity, we don't want to spend all our money in the bank, so I mean, you only want to, take on, and when you build a project like maybe a magnitude of a 50,000 square foot building, perhaps, then where do you get some of that? You don't want to spend all your money. You don't want to bond the entire thing. You want free money coming from, whether it's the EDA, which is the federal economic development, or it's, more curb money, or, is it other federal money that we haven't heard about. So one thing that we're having at our retreat, we're going to bring in a key bank capital market specialist, and she's going to come to our retreat and give us kind of an overview of what that looks like. What does that picture look like when you go out and issue debt, that kind of thing. So. Yeah. So we're limited, by capacity for, how our assessed valuation comes out, how, you can only, just like our own budgets, you can only tap into so many dollars to make sure you still remain whole.
Yeah.
So without going to the voters. So, and we're not planning on doing that.
Right now, no.
You have a
Yeah.
question?
No.
Oh, you're looking.
No.
Sorry. Well, good stuff there, and opportunities, of course, abound up there at the Port of Shelton. And Johns Prairie, how's that looking these days?
Yeah, good. So 30 East Export, that was the first curb project we entered into. It's actually final, and we use some of our EDC money that we allot to their group they're going to fly a drone for some marketing coverage of that building, because
good.
this
That's
is
cool.
a large site. I mean, there's 6 acres paved. The largest building that we just walled is right close to 24,000 square feet.
Wow.
So it needs a large manufacturer of some sort, so getting that word out, is probably bigger than most companies that are here. But yeah, so they're going to do some good advertising and then do some other footage. They've got a drone, they'll hire the drone pilot for a day. And so they'll do some other footage for other properties, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So-
like down along 101 there.
Yeah.
yeah, the
frontage
frontage.
on
Yeah,
101 in the
yeah,
former fairgrounds property to
Uh-huh.
yeah.
get that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Very good.
So,
Are there
yeah.
trends? Are you seeing trends that people are interested in expanding and trying out new business and wanting to come into those size buildings with lots?
That would be a definite existing company
Okay.
that, is looking to expand, more likely. That's a pretty big site to, and for us, it doesn't make sense to chop that site up.
Right.
Sometimes it does, but it's just perfect for the industrial type user that would be out in that area. So plus they have access to rail if they want it. It's, it's a little ways away, but it's out there. So yeah, so I think things are looking up. I think
Good.
it'll be exciting, and we'll get more, like I said, priorities and, how we're going to streamline, our things we do in the next couple years at our retreat.
Very
So,
nice.
yeah.
Well, we'll check back in next week then at this same time with the Protocol. Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, good to see you guys.
Good
You
seeing
too.
you.
Good to be here.
Yeah,
Have a
thank you.
good rest of your day, and we'll check back in next week.